What is good, YouTube, man? We're starting off free agency. Free agency, it didn't started, man. I know it's just a tampering period. No contracts are finalized just yet. Players are only agreeing to the contracts. Meanwhile, they can still hear out other teams. But once you agree to the contract, they're most likely just gonna finish that out, finalize that out on the 17th. But let's get into the Raiders real quick, bro. So we've been real quiet. It's just like we've been church mouses, bro. We've done. It's been underwhelming to say the least, right? And you know, in bits, it's kind of worrisome, you know. So let's start off with the biggest news, right? The Raiders. It looks like the Raiders just haven't even contacted John Johnson whatsoever. Neither have the Chargers apparently, but the teams that have, I believe, was the Eagles, the Jaguars, the Lions, and the Browns. Those are the teams that have really been making a huge push for John Johnson at the moment. It doesn't look like maybe they're getting anything close to a deal yet, but like I said, it is a bit worrying. So what I will say though is I know that we are all tired of the Raiders bringing in people just to switch their position, man. Just to switch their position, and let's just see how it works out. Let's see if they can do good, right? So, hear me out real quick. John Johnson, he is an elite safety. Yes, he is. But he is a strong safety. He is a very good strong safety with the ability to play free safety. It'd be different if he was a free safety with the ability to play strong safety. Now, you guys might be saying, well, it's a safety in general. A safety is going to be able to play the deep high in the box, all that kind of stuff. And, you're wrong, right? We've seen it with Abram. Abram is a strong safety. He is a box safety. We tested him out in the back end, in the deep half. I mean, the deep high, and, at times it worked well, and at times it was horrible, right? So, the thing with John Johnson is, to me, it's looking like, as much as we did want him, as much as we do still want him, I'm not saying if we do get him, oh, it's a bad thing. No, if we get him, that's great, right? That's wonderful. That's what we all wanted. But what I will say is that if we don't get him, it's really not the end of the world whatsoever, right? So, real quick, we know that this off season is loaded with free safety talent, bro. Every part of the board. Obviously, the two guys in Marcus Williams and John Johnson looks like they're not going to be coming our way, which sucks, right? The Patriots been making moves, and it seems like the Raiders, we're not the only team that's been silent, right? There's multiple other teams that have just been quiet. But out of all the teams that have been quiet, those teams haven't done anything because they don't have the money. We're not tied down with money. We have money now, and we have even more ways to get more money. So money isn't the problem. But what I will say is that until I see that John Johnson is getting steam with the Raiders rolling, I don't think it's gonna happen. Really, I don't know why. I really don't. I really thought that we were gonna go into this we were going to go just steaming ahead into free agency because we have glaring needs that we need to fill, right? But it's the opposite. We're taking it a bit slow. We're taking it with a slower approach. I think we're really trying to value and realize talent-wise and scheme fits is what I really think is what they're valuing at the moment. And I have no problem with that, right? So, from now on, I'm John Johnson. This looks like he won't be a Raider. As much as it sucks to say, it looks like it won't happen. And if it does, I'll be happy. But if it doesn't, this is what this video is about, right? This is what this video is about right here. If John Johnson does not become a Raider, what will we do? So, I believe that if John Johnson does not become a Raider, we go out and we do two things. We cut Mariota or trade him. I don't know how it's going to work. We cut Mariota. That's number one. Then I think because John Johnson would have been our guy at safety, right? I think if we don't get him, what we do is that we go out and extend Derek Carr and we get roughly from 15 to 20 million there. I'm just gonna round it down to 15 million, right? So with those two things, we would go all the way up to 65 million, right? And that's without cutting guys like Arden Key and all those other practice squad players that we can get some good money out of too. So I think that those are things that we should do in order to make these next moves, right? So it's not really Raider related, but what we have seen is that there's two people. I'm really just going to be talking about one. We've seen Allen Robinson doesn't want to sign his tag, right? That's an option as well, but I'm not going to be talking about Allen Robinson. But the big thing here is Danielle Hunter is in very big complications over there at Minnesota with the Vikings. He is looking for an extension. He's looking for maybe a bigger pay raise. You know, he deserves more money and all this kind of stuff, and he's not happy with his current situation at the Vikings, right? So what I will say here is that's huge, right? The Raiders, we had one of the worst sack numbers last year, maybe even the worst. And you know, that affected our game as well, right? That affected our game as well. Having an elite pass rusher is always going to make your back end of the defense life easier, because the quarterback is going to make a unorthodox kind of throw. It's going to force them to throw things that they don't want to, all that kind of stuff, right? So with Danielle Hunter being possibly out there on the market, saying that he's really looking into requesting a trade from Minnesota, I'm a huge Cleveland and Max fan, right? I'm probably one of their biggest defenders. Like, I want them to do good, right? But I'm a Raider fan at the end of the day. And if you can get an upgrade, you do it, right? And, of course, if it's for the right price, okay? Now, Danielle Hunter is only 26. Only 26. And his contract is not bad at all. For a guy like Danielle Hunter, he's only getting paid $12 million a year, right? Let's say he comes, we do give him that extension, we'll give him $15 million a year. That is worth it, man. That is worth it. Now, what I'm saying here is that doesn't mean we're just gonna give up on Cleveland Ferrell. No, not at all. What that means is that Cleveland Ferrell will probably he might end up just sliding into defensive tackle, because we know that Gus Bradley really likes his pass rushing DTs. And if Cleveland Ferrell put on a little bit of weight, maybe he can become one of those DTs. But what I think will end up happening is that Cleveland Ferrell would actually, so what it would look like would be Danielle Hunter on the one side, Cleveland Ferrell on the other side, and Max Crosby coming in as a rotational player. And I have no problem with that whatsoever. I do not like the fact of the idea of moving Cleveland Ferrell into defensive tackle. I just don't think it's there. I don't like that. I don't think that you draft somebody number 4 overall for you to switch their position. I don't like that. I don't. I really don't. So yeah, what I am saying is Danielle Hunter is most likely on the market now. Now let's look at what the Vikings did last year. It looked like the Vikings lost pretty big on Stephon Diggs last year, right? They gave Stephon Diggs for, I think, mid and late round picks. I think there was a second round pick in there. But let's look at other things. So DeForest Buckner got traded also last year for just one first round pick. You know, I don't think that the cost of trading for Danielle Hunter will cripple us. I really don't. So let's talk about it real quick. So what I think that we could do to get a guy like Danielle Hunter, because it always drops the value of the player when the player requests a trade. When a team is just looking out to trade them, their value is high up there, because there's no interest in other teams, you know, wanting to get him. It's the team that he's on shopping him around. But when a player requests it, it shows that the player isn't happy. He doesn't want to be there. There's something wrong with the system, and then teams can really like lowball what his price will be. So for Danielle Hunter, man, I would give up this year's first, this year's 5th round pick, and a third round next year, right? I think that's well worth it, in my opinion. Like I said, there's no problem with having a good a great pass rusher. That always makes your back end's life easier, whether it's the safeties, whether it's the DBs. It makes it easier. Now, let's get into it. So, in this, we cut Mariota and we extended DC. That puts us at 65 million, right? Let's say we trade for Danielle Hunter. We give up those picks, right? And we extend him because that's what he's looking for. He's looking for an extension and a small pay increase. So we extend him and we give him the 15 million. Boom. 15 million of the cap gone. Then you re-sign Good, Morrow, and Tack for 1 or 2 year deals each. I think Morrow and Good you can re-sign to 2, maybe even 3 years for Morrow. Tack is a 1 year thing. So those three right there, those three re-signs is another $15 million. So that's 30 mil gone. Then you have to put 7 mil aside for the draft class. And with this, get this, 7 mil for the draft class will actually go down lower because we don't have to pay a first rounder because we traded that away to the Vikings for Danielle Hunter. So you have 30 million. You wasted 30 out of your 35 million. Let's say let's just say you set aside 7 million for the rookies, even though you got rid of your first round pick. So that's 37 out of the 65. Then you go out and you pay Malik Hooker, right? A true free safety. A true free safety. Yes, he has health concerns, but he is a true free safety. You go out and you get him 3-4 years, 6 million, possibly 8 million with incentives, right? Incentives with staying healthy, being on the field, how many picks, all that kind of stuff. So you get Malik Hooker for a 3-4 year with a base salary of 6 million, with incentives can go up to 8 million each year he's on contract. That's 43 million right there. Then you go out and you bring back Aguilar for whether 7 to 9 million. Let's just say 9 million, right? You bring back Aguilar, that's 54. Then you get let's say we bring in Kyle Long, 4 million at the most, because we still gotta pay him like he's coming out of retirement, he has something to prove. So let's say 4 million at the most for Kyle Long. Then Richard Sherman, that is exactly 64 million out of the 65. And that's with overpaying the rookies because we won't have a first and we won't have a fifth. So I would do that. That's 64 million out of the 65 in our cap space. I really think that that's okay. I really honestly think that that is a good move. If you're telling me the next year our defense with Sherman, Danielle Hunter, Malik Hooker, and you can still go out and get a Richie Grant in the second round with your second round pick, that is a good offseason, man. That's a great defense. What did Gus Bradley say? It starts off with your front four at all times in this defense. You mean to tell me you have an emerging Cleveland Furrow, only getting better? You have him on one side, Danielle Hunter on the other side. Passing downs, you bump in Cleveland Furrow, then you bring in Max Crosby. That is a good defense. Then you still have the money to bring in Aguilar, bring in Sherman, re-sign Morrow because you're not going to have that first round pick and you're not going to go out and get Jock. You re-sign Tack, you re-sign Good. This is all extremely possible. Extremely possible. And news just that came in right now as I'm recording this video, apparently the Raiders have just called about Pittsburgh wide receiver Juju Smith-Schuster. Now, if Juju wanted 9 million, I would say yes. There's no problem with Juju. What I will say about Juju is that he had better numbers than Nelson Aguilar, right? But he was not the best guy on that team. Nelson Aguilar was the best guy on our team. I think Aguilar's, you should just keep him. But that is good news. It looks like the Raiders are trying to get more active today. But let me know what you guys think about this, man. I really think this is possible. And yes, probably not having John Johnson hurts, but it will make the blow feel a lot better if we got Danielle Hunter. It really would. That would be crazy. I would love that offseason right there. I would do it in a heartbeat. You get rid of Mariota and you extend DC. Do it, man. Do it. Then you can afford to get You can afford to pay your rookies. You can afford to get Sherman, Aguilar, pay Danielle Hunter with his extension and his pay increase. Get Malik Hooker. Re-sign Good. Re-sign Morrow. Re-sign Tack. Man, this is very possible, man. Dude, I would be crazy this would be amazing if we could do something like this. It would be awesome. I do really believe that this would be I really do think that this defense right there in that offseason will be able to take us over the hump. Also, some more news that just came in. I'm extremely happy for Donald Penn. He just signed a 1-day contract with the Raiders. He will be retiring our Raiders. Shout out to Donald Penn, bro. Real Raider. Once a Raider, always a Raider, bro. Well deserved, well appreciated, man. But that's going to be it for today. That's going to be it for today. You guys tell me if I'm crazy or if y'all would do this. I really think I would do this in a heartbeat. This is a great off-season plan. But like I said, let me know if you guys would do that. Let me know if I'm crazy, right? Let me know if I'm crazy. Like, comment, and subscribe if you can. And that'll be it, bro. This is crazy. Free agency is it's gonna be on my mind every single day until until the season starts, bro. So let's do it. Let's do it, Raider Nation. But that'll be it for me today. Peace.